There is a fielder deep mid-wicket.
Both sweepers out for Pooja Mahato. Once again, dab and run. Given the field that she's got, suggests she's going to be keeping the length away from both these batters. As that wraps up the second over, UAE. Good confident start, 8 without loss after 2.
When it comes to this fixture, Robert, UAE versus Nepal, I can tell you that Nepal have had the wood over this particular opposition. 5 T20Is between these two sides since the first time they played in 2019, and Nepal have won 3. UAE have just one win to show for their contest against this Asian up-and-coming giant. So whether it's chasing calmly or defending under pressure, Nepal have done really well and have found different match winners. Do not forget that crucial win in that Asia Cup last year in Dambulla, Sri Lanka. First time Nepal won a fixture in that continental tournament. And guess who were their key architects? Indu Verma, their now captain, and the other one, Sanjana Kharka, number 6, currently stationed at Long Pond.
Sabnam Rai starts her first over. She's greeted by a slash from Isha Oza that finds the gap and finds the boundary. It's the first one for Isha Oza and UAE. It was fully intentional, this.
Assess the length so early, absolutely threw her hands at this one. No second thoughts, total clarity, and due rewards gotten.
First signs of aggression from Isha Oza and UAE. When the bowling was good, they were quite happy and content to just nudge it around, pick up the singles. The Satish looking to pull a couple. First bad delivery presented itself. Isha Oza has found a boundary. Once again, playing it into the offside, misfield. It's running away. Will be pulled back. Good effort there from the fielder. Relay throw back to the keeper. Pick up 2.
Yeah, it was Pooja Mahato conceded that misfield. It's a regulation stop, really, but perhaps the spin upon the ball hitting the turf. Never easy. Fielding in the backward point region, and Kavita Kunwar did really well, keeping the ball in play, saving a couple of runs. Every single run is going to be absolute gold dust. Make no mistake, this is an all or nothing do or die contest for both these sides here at the Super 3 stage.
Every run will add up, and Isha Oza looking very confident out in the middle.
Stood tall on this particular shot, punched off the back foot. Again, a very good looking stroke when it comes off the middle of the bat. And Oza with her long levers is definitely one of the best exponents of that shot. Smriti Mandhana lays it really well, a back foot punch. So does West Indies captain Haley Matthews. Sam Billings in the men's game.
Well, the other thing is, the wicket has been good, allowing for batters to play these types of shots, given the weather we've had. The Satish again, picking up from where she left off yesterday. She was finding the middle of the bat more frequently than not. Just needs to find the gap. It's a very fluent batter. Being a left-hander myself, see a lot of similarities. And there we go, going hard through the offside, not able to find the gap. Isha Oza, well, following through quite some distance. Smart from Tirtha Satish to send her back. There was no run there.
Very agile from Rubina Chetri. Put her body on the line, ensured, if not her hands, her legs did the work there. Intercepted a definite boundary.
We're deciding to go on the back foot. Only the bowler was interested. Good take there.
Good glove work from Ruby Poddar. Never easy keeping up to a pacer, and especially when you're standing up to the stumps. Very good cricket we've seen in the first few overs. No inch conceded by either side, But you would think UAE would be the happier of the two teams.
Well, Sabnam Rai coming back really well after going for 7 of her first 3 and 3 consecutive dots to wrap up that over. 15 without loss after 3. UAE being put into bat, as you mentioned, will be the happier of the two. Nepal really want to make early inroads here, especially pick up 1 or 2 of these batters to set the tone here after they decided to bowl first.
And this left-hand, right-hand combination, regardless of what team you're playing against, is always going to turn the crews, forcing bowlers to recalibrate their lines.
Another drop and run. This is smart batting. Not trying to force the issue here is Isha Oza, taking her time. And she finds herself on 13 off 11, which is a very good start. Tita Satish, bit slower. They've got plenty of time, this pair. This is something that they would have understood, and perhaps the coaching staff would have had a chat to them. If this partnership can last a fair while, it's guaranteed to put UAE in a very good position. Nepal will also be fully aware of that.
There's a lot of experience between Satish and Oza. Isha herself has played close to 94 games.
Outside half of the bat. Manisha Kumari there with the works.
They know each other inside out. Very good friends are Satish and Oza. Good mates. They've batted alongside each other so very well, consistently, as UAE have made their way up through the ranks. And now, of course, they have ODI status. Crowning moment in their journey and their history.
Staying on the back foot, cutting that straight to extra cover. They've called through for a single. There's chance at the non-striker's end. All needed a better throw. And, no damage done for UAE. Good effort in the field there, but fortunately not enough to affect the run out.
Yeah, that was Rubina Chetri with the throw. A direct hit would have injected more spice. Nonetheless, good cricket all round once again. This is something you need to see more often from UAE. Drop and run. Steal those pretty much non-existent cheeky singles. Something Thailand did very, very well yesterday. Helped put on a strong foundation from which the middle order launched very well.
Once again, looking to drop and run. Puja Mahato, fully alert, not allowing that single.
Now she's going to have a big task on her hands, the Puja Mahato. Has been one of the star all-rounders from the Nepali team. Captained the under-19 side, has been a beacon of grit, talent and resilience.
Played into the offside. Isha Oza, the moment, happy to deal in just singles, waiting for that loose delivery. Clearly the batting plans have been set for UAE here in this crunch game.
And they're not taking any unnecessary risks. We haven't seen a single Cavalier shot from either of these two UAE openers, both measured, composed, and doing exactly what Isha Oza said at the toss, that we need to do the basics right, something they weren't able to do yesterday, especially in the field. Some regulation chances dropped, but looks like the conversation in the dressing room and perhaps at the team hotel too with head coach Ahmed Raza has worked really well, at least in the first 4 overs of this innings.
Short ball pulled away into the leg side. Well fielded there. Mid-wicket boundary. Keeps it down to just 1. The Satish has looked to aggress. Like yesterday, not able to find the gaps and just hitting the fielders. Although some very good shots on display.
She's found Rajmati Irie at deep mid-wicket twice now. Both times the pull shots not able to beat the fielder. Good cat and mouse contest this from the fielding unit of Nepal and these two batters. 19 on the board already. And looks like Shabnam Rai is going to continue from the commentary box end. So Indu Burma, who bowls pretty much everything in the spin department, off breaks, leg breaks, very much like a Harmanpreet Kaur in the Indian side, will introduce her much later. And it was Indu Burma who took that decisive 3-wicket haul the last time these two teams met in Dambulla during the Asia Cup.
It's driven down straight to mid-off. Better awareness here. Not allowing that single. Nepal will have to do a lot more of this, because you can sense that Tirtha Satish is going to be the one that's going to feel the pressure. Isha Oza is looking very comfortable.
Young T looking to tee off in this innings. Samjana Kharka really did well at mid-off there.
That's Katapish, it's in the gap. Hands on heads for some of the Nepal players. Is very close from going straight into the hands. Fortunately for Tirtha Satish, it's her first boundary.
How good was that placement from Tirtha Satish? A nice back and across cut shot. But the key here was bisecting that point and backward point region. Beat both the fielders there, including Captain Indu Burma. And what a terrific result for Tirtha Satish there. 4 runs on the second ball of Shabnam Rai's second over.
Once again, looking to target that point region. Trying to pierce that gap there. Those two fielders have come a lot closer.
Absolutely immaculate placement there from Tirtha Satish. All of 21 years of age, but already has 81 caps for the United Arab Emirates. 11 50s to her name. Still looking for that maiden international century, which she was very close to getting in that game against Qatar. Made 74 odd before their head coach. Historically, in an iconic moment in our beautiful sport, decided to retire out all 10 batters in the blink of an eye.
Well, that had some heads turning all over the world. Drop and run. Skipper from Nepal. High alert. Not allowing the single. It's, well, this is where Tirtha Satish probably can mature after getting a boundary off the second delivery. 3 consecutive dots.
And that has also been a theme of Shabnam Rai's bowling so far. She's come back strong every time she's been hit for a boundary.
Driven down the ground again. Not able to find the gap is Tirtha Satish as Shabnam Rai comes back really well. Just the boundary in that over. 5 overs gone. 23 without loss. Looks like it'll be a change of ends for Kavita Kunwar, being reintroduced from the far end. Final over of the power play.
She's been one of the premier bowlers here at the ICC Women's T20 World Cup Asia qualifier. Has played a couple of very good cameos with the bat too. Nepal need some early wickets from both their opening tandem, Shabnam Rai and Kavita Kunwar. Their pacers, and of course alongside Pooja Mahato, the vice captain of this Nepali team. Qualification into the global qualifiers is on the line. But more importantly, within touching distance for both these two teams. Kunwar up against the UAE captain and their premier batter Isha Oza. Nicely caressed through the covers, but found Rubina Chetri yet again. We've seen plenty of strokes from both Oza and Satish, but not so much the gaps.
And this is, we'll go back to yesterday's game as well. Thailand versus UAE. They were dropping inside the inner ring and running hard. While both Isha Oza and Tirtha Satish have looked really good with the shots that they've displayed here, ineffective on the occasion, and as a result, the dot balls starting to pile up.
Just one boundary, both falls a piece to the names of Isha Oza and Tirtha Satish so far in the power play. Shivani Mishra, one of the two on-field umpires, keeping a close eye on proceedings. Oh, chipped uppishly, just past Kunwar there. Finds Indu Burma, the captain. Yet another dot.
Well, 3 bowlers used so far by Nepal. They've relied on pace to do the job here. Decent 5.2 overs.
Nicely driven yet again to the fielder at mid-off. It is going to be Indu Burma who has to do the tidying up. 3 consecutive dots. You would sense the pressure is slowly going to start mount here.
The other thing is that while they've used pace and the pace has kept things quiet, it hasn't created opportunities for Nepal, wicket-taking opportunities. So at some point, Indu Burma is going to have to look to somebody else.
Drop and run is the call. Decides against it. It's going to be Rajmati Irie. Keeps it tight. Again, the more your infield puts pressure on your batters, the boundaries and of course the singles are going to be kept at bay, which Nepal have done really well so far in the power play. Just the last 2 deliveries remaining in the first 6 is Isha. Those are going to break through the shackles. Oh, nicely driven down the ground, but still doesn't find any run, let alone the boundary. Nutmegged Kavita Kunwar.
Indu Burma there, providing the cover. And, heading into the final delivery of the power play, 23 without loss. Both these teams will be quite happy with the way this game's poised.
Oh, that is going to be a terrific maiden over to close out the power play. And what a fine 6 balls has this been from Kavita Kunwar. Doesn't get any better, do they?
Well, a maiden in a T20 game is always going to be very valuable. It'll put a lot of pressure now on these 2 batters. Power play completed, 23 on the board for UAE. After Nepal won the toss and chose to bowl first. Good finish from Kavita Kunwar there with that Yorker. Isha Oza batting on 14 of 19. Tirtha Satish 8 of 17. Now here's the thing for UAE, both these batters have spent time out there. They've gotten used to the conditions. It's up to them now to take this partnership to the next phase and try and get the scoreboard rolling over. If one of them gets out now, all this time spent in the middle, it's going to backfire because it's going to be harder for the newer batter to come out there, and especially with the field restrictions being lifted, to try and up the ante. So it's going to come down to Isha Oza and Tirtha Satish to try and secure a foundation here for UAE.
Definitely, Robert. One of these 2 batters need to put the pedal on the metal, so to speak. It's not going to be easy with the fielding restrictions easing here at the Tirtha Cricket Ground after the conclusion of the power play. And right on cue, we'll have one of the changes rung in, and it's going to be the left arm spin of Riya Sharma. Well, the leg spinner into operation. Tossed up, driven firmly, straight to Karka, just a single conceded.
Well, this is an interesting matchup. Leg spinner bowling to a left-hander, Tirtha Satish. Matchup favors the left-handed batter. Natural swing of the blade, going leg side. Revs on the ball, also turning into the batter. She'll be hitting with the spin.
Oja is very strong both sides of the wicket, which is why you see boundary riders at deep mid-wicket. Long on, there is a sweeper cover, of course, long off. Trying to apprehend both the lofted strokes either side. Driven straight to Rubina Chetri. She's taken at least 7 dots now on the trot as the UAE captain. Well, you can sense she's trying to cut loose here is Isha Oza, still very conservative by her big hitting standards. Just a single run to get Tirtha Satish back on strike. The partnership now 25, sure for the opening wicket, but the fluency has deserted them somewhat. Credit goes to Nepal and how they have fielded and their pace bowling troika have done so far. Flicked off the boots. Definitely a couple on the cards. They're running hard for the second one and easily completed.
Given the field that she's got here as Sharma, she's going to be bowling full, slightly outside the off stump of the left-hander. Any mistake in length, Tirtha Satish will be looking to go with the sweep or the slog sweep.
Played straight back to the bowler. Is it going to go down as a drop chance? A cotton bowl opportunity perhaps gone a begging for Riya Sharma there as Tirtha Satish survives.
Well, that one thudded into her knee. It was a difficult chance. It was dropping. It was hit hard. Barely left the surface. Difficult to tell from this angle if it was a chance or if it wasn't. 5 runs coming off the first 5 deliveries.
Nicely driven and definitely follow it up with a couple of runs additionally. Easy pickings now for the UAE skipper. 7 runs conceded of Riya Sharma's opening over. And after the completion of the 7th, UAE are 30 without losing any wickets.
There's the opening partnership. 17 of 22 for Isha Oza. Tirtha Satish 12 of 20. Umpires have been gracious enough to allow drinks because it has been hot and humid here. 2 full games that we've had. We've had a couple of players suffer from loss of fluids, heat stroke, perhaps exhaustion, and conditions much better here at the third Thai cricket ground. Tougher on the players, but at least they're able to get a game through, which is what both these sides will be very happy with. Now it's up to both of them to try and get the win, also book their tickets to the global qualifiers, which is what they're playing for here. It's been a cautious start. After UAE were put into bat by Nepal, Nepal will just feel a little bit disappointed that they haven't been able to pick up a wicket, but they've done very well to keep this attacking pair of Oza and Satish relatively quiet. UAE 30 without loss after 7. 13 more overs to go in this first innings.
It's all to play for in this contest between UAE and Tirtha Satish. This is the second match of the Super 3 stage of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup Asia Regional Qualifier. And to all the viewers who are joining us here live from the third Thai cricket ground in Bangkok, what's at stake? Hey, 2 spots are up for grabs for the global qualifiers, one of which has already been nicely and easily pocketed by guess who? The host, Thailand. So one of these 2 sides, UAE and Nepal, will go on to make the cut. diffidently nudged into the leg side, straight to Indu Burma.
It was anything but easy to seal that spot, Anisha, because the weather that we've had made it even difficult for the hosts initially from the group stages, as it did for quite a few of these teams. In the end, the Super 3 making it through.
Flicked powerfully, but straight to deep mid-wicket. Another single added to the tally. Sure, it wasn't easy from a weather perspective, who I think have been the only adversary for Thailand in this contest, because the kind of convincing victories they have against the likes of UAE, and if you think back to the tournament opener, the first match of this qualifying event, they raced down Kuwait by a whopping margin 8 wickets. So the opposition hasn't mattered, but the weather certainly has. Oh, nicely cut away by Isha Oza. Samjana Kharka having to do a lot of teeing up in the deep, stationed at cover.
At what stage do UAE send the message out to this pair, tell them it's time to accelerate? I think it's going to be around the 10th over during drinks where they will reassess how this pair decides to go.
Oh, inside edge off the bat of Tirtha Satish there. The intention was to go perhaps over cover. Eventually ends up getting just an edge to Indu Burma. Yet again, I can tell you by looking at the UAE dugout from the commentary box, head coach Ahmed Raza is starting to pace up and down a little. Oh, yet another edge. And this is going to be intercepted by the short third fielder. You've seen at least 3 consecutive edges of the bat of Tirtha Satish in this over.
A lack of pace from the bowler and perhaps throwing her hands a little too hard at it, looking for that boundary, perhaps looking for the gaps as well, which she hasn't been able to find. Isha Oza, on the other hand, has looked very fluent.
Oh, Oza tried getting on top of that. Very wide delivery from Airy. Another single completed in a very decent over from Rajmati Airy here bowling her opening spell. She's gone under the radar somewhat, but look how easily and quickly she's completed her opening over, just given away 4 runs, and that concludes the 8th over, UAE 34 for no loss.
Well, Monisha, one of my favorite things to witness on a cricket field is captain v captain. It's just the context, even before anything happens, is so humongous. Everything's on the line. One captain wants to outdo the other. Indu Verma versus Isha Oza. Here in a crunch game, both teams, both leaders are looking to do it for their team here.
Flicked off the pads, and thus begins the contest between 2 27-year-olds helming the shifts for their respective teams, trying to get the better of each other, and a much important win for their side to keep their hopes of qualification into the global qualifying event alive. Oh, Oza cuts loose but doesn't middle that. Just fell perilously and agonizingly close to Indu Verma's outstretched right hand in a follow through.
Throwing her hands hard at that one. Indu Verma just a little slow to react there. She had a bit more time than she would have thought. And in the end, just a single to Oza.
short mid-wicket in pace for the left-hander. Oza goes back and across and punches this on the up to Rubina Chetri, who has a shy at the stumps at the non-striker's end. Would have thought Isha Oza jaywalking.
It's possible. Couple of occasions, Oza's followed through quite a bit.
Driven back to the bowler here. Excellent start from the Nepali captain, Indu Verma, 3 dots and just a solitary run coming off her first 4 deliveries. Can she finish it strong? Nicely pulled away, and that is going to motor away to the fence for a much needed boundary off the back of Tirtha Satish and for the UAE.
Yeah, you could just sense there it was going to have to be Satish who took on the bowling. She's taken her time out there in the middle. This time that swivel pull comes into good effect. Is it nice and square? No chance for the fielder, the diving fielder, out on the mid-wicket boundary. Much needed. 39 on the board, 1 delivery to go in the 9th over.
Just the 3rd boundary of the innings. Onto the scoreboard now. Tries to pick this out of the boots. Well bowled by Indu Verma. Keeps it to just 6 runs of her opening over of the spell. And after the conclusion of the 9th over, UAE of 40 for no loss.
6 bowlers used by Nepal so far in the 9 overs. This is the 1 extra of this opening partnership, 40. Well, the time it's taken for them to compile these 40 runs. 6 Nepali bowlers have been used, all of them wicketless, but fairly economical. Riya Sharma going for 7 of her, 1 over, the most expensive of the lot, but otherwise a good bowling display in terms of racking up dot balls. They've lacked the effectiveness of picking up wickets or creating opportunities, but they've done well to restrict UAE.
Chipped into the leg side, again precariously close to the fielder there. Indu Verma stationed at short mid-wicket, but no damage done this time. Tirtha Satish gets off strike, brings back the now fluent-looking Isha Oza on strike.
Isha Oza has just been timing everything quite well. Fortunately, has not been able to find the gaps as much. The boundaries that you mentioned, just the 3 coming so far.
Oza cuts loose, goes big, but will only get a single run of that well-intended lofted stroke. Wanted to go much straighter towards the side screen, end up playing more towards long off, was fairly square, not so fine.
Well, that even being a miss hit went on the 1 bounce to the fielder. So Isha Oza, I think, has decided she's going to go after it, but she'll have to be careful.
Satish plays it back to the bowler. Again, 1 drop and straight to Rajmati Airi there. So a couple of return catch opportunities sort of been created. You can sense something is on the horizon as far as this mode of dismissal is concerned.
Also, UAE will have to be careful because it's the last over before drinks.
Smacks this one off the back foot. Should get just a single run because there is enough protection in the frontal V, a long on and long off in pace.
Well, both these batters, 21 apiece. He's taking a little bit more time than Isha Oza. Again, we did say these 2 batters, not a problem if they're taking this time, but they've got, one of them has to double up on it.
Oh, that's going to be an extra. Actually, the first extra we've seen in this match, the second in fact, which has been a reflection of how tight and disciplined the Nepali bowlers have been.
Well, it's the first wide, the other one was a leg by.
Oh, nicely carved towards the sweeper cover fielder. And that deft positioning of the fielder, yet again from the Nepal captain into Burma, does the trick, limits it just to a single. So yet another good-looking stroke from Isha Oza, not bearing much dividends. And the last ball before we reach the halfway mark coming up. The first 2 overs. This is speed from Rajmati Ayri.
Both these teams have done their homework. Nepal setting their angles to perfection here.
Chipped uppishly, fielder in the mix. Rubina Chetri takes a regulation catch to send back Deepika Satish, the opener, for a 31 ball 21.
Not what UAE would have wanted, exactly what Nepal were hoping for. Going into the drinks break, Rubina Chetri, who's been a busy fielder in that extra cover position, gets one lofted up in the air. She's very quick to get herself positioned, and a good catch completed in the end, sliding into position. Good stuff from Rubina Chetri. We'll have a short drinks break and come back to you when action resumes.